Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Welcome to you all. Happy to be with you again. Since it's been a while since we've all been together, I thought we'd take some time so that I can hear from you, and you can give me an update if you like. You can ask a question, and we'll just see how we've all been for the last 3 or 4 weeks. So if you'd like to speak, please raise your hand and turn on your microphone.
Good morning, Rishiji and everyone. I
Hello,
can't
Rishan.
I can't seem to find the place to raise my hand, so did it the old-fashioned way.
Yeah.
Um, so good to be back in this presence again. Um, um, so the last couple of weeks have been a kind of a struggle for me, although I can drop into the beautiful place of silence in this present moment. And I'm so grateful for the gathering today because it makes it so much easier. It's been kind of a challenge, and one of the things that keeps coming up is, do I need to go? It's like I'm revisiting some old wounds, military wounds, and it's like, do I really need to delve into these really deeply before I can let go? And then at one moment, I did have kind of an understanding, well, you could, but actually you don't need to dig into it and experience it all. That you can just let it go. You can step to another frequency.
Yes, and the question though, in that situation, when you're in that situation, you see how uh, strongly or intensely these kinds of memories can rise, and then the question really becomes, then how do I do that? How do I step to this other frequency? What do I mean by that? So can you explain that a little bit to me and
The
to
only
everyone?
thing, yeah, the only thing that I know, yeah, they're very strong. And of course, the more I focus on them, the stronger they become. The only
This
thing
is
that
an important thing. Sorry to interrupt you, but this is a very important thing to notice. The stronger I focus on them, the stronger I enter into them, the stronger they become. Because this is actually one of the solutions, if you will, to this situation. Is when you notice that if you enter into them, um, they become stronger. This gives you a pointer, doesn't it? It tells you, don't go in this direction. This is not going to be fruitful. This is going to increase the intensity of these memories of the past. So that's very good. Yeah, very good.
there's not some really weird spiritual thing going on that although I want not to go and do them, that I should, there's not some weird thing going on here that if I could just take in enough pain and open my heart and burst my heart, everything will be well. That's not it, is it?
No, that absolutely is not it. And so just looking at it from the experience point of view of a lot of years of sadhana, you can see that when you come to the conclusion, as you have, that to go into it is actually to increase the energy of it, increase the validity of it, increase the appearance of reality in it. And so the question then, once you've realized that, becomes, what is the direction to go in? Yes?
And the thing that I know is this. It is just to drop in. And miracle of miracles, I still, in the midst of that pain, I still can feel myself dropping in to this place of presence. It's just, I'm still here. I'm still really present. And yet it's an absence of those memories or something like that.
So is your goal when you do that to experience an absence of those memories? Or is it more accurate to say that you want to not be affected by those memories?
I really want to feel what I truly am. I really want to feel that true light that I am and that we all are, and that I can feel together when we're all here together in this room. I can feel the light. And that's really, I'm not if that's of, and I know that's of service to mankind and it's of service to the cosmos or whatever, but something within me I'm not yet, don't feel like I'm a server. I feel like I just want to get to that space and continue.
So
I do touch that space. I am that space. I know.
yeah, very good. Whenever we begin, any of us, to have an intense experience like this, there are a couple of things that we tend to forget. One is we are not that memory, that thought, and so on. That not that bodily sensation, that clenching, that fear, whatever rises, we forget that we are not that. What we are doing when that happens is we are taking something which is occurring in the mind or body as real. So one can say we are taking the not real as the real. Now, why am I calling it the not real or the unreal? It's because this is not actually happening at that moment. The memory is happening at that moment. It's happening here and now. But the memory itself is not directed at something which is currently here. It's directed at something from the past. So the definition of the real, simply put, not that there's one definition, but one way of looking at it, one way of being it, is that it is here now. That what is here now as awareness is the real. What is here as memory, as muscle memory, as trauma, all of that has no self nature. In other words, it only exists because of the memory in the mind. That's the only reason it's here. Now, that's not to invalidate it. We're not trying to deny or invalidate. We're trying to know the truth of what is here. So, we can say, without denying anything, this memory is here. This fear is here. This tension in the body is here. This stress in the mind is here. This can be seen. We can also ask the question, who or what is aware of this? Who sees this? Because that one which is here now as awareness, not me, but that one which is here as awareness, that is the space in which this thought, this memory, this tension, this stress is rising. And as you already have discovered, if you put your attention on that object, its intensity increases. So what the inquiry does is it directs us back toward that which is aware. This is not an object that we can go back to, is it really? We are always here as awareness. But what we can do is fall back from that object that we've taken, memory, stress, so on. We can fall back from that object by asking the question, am I aware? Who am I? Who or what is aware of this? And then falling back into that remembrance, right? Because it's not an object that we're going to find. We're not going to become someone else. We're not going to find awareness. We're going to fall back into being. We're going to remember in that moment, there's going to be a remembrance. That which is aware is here now. And in this here now, there is a memory present. But in the simple doing of that, whether we say this to ourselves or not, there's an acknowledgement that we're not that memory. We are that which is aware of the memory. You see, we cannot be subject and object at the same time. So as soon as we become aware of anything in memory or in imagination, projection into the future, as soon as we become aware that there's a memory here or their imagination is going wild, we are immediately in the subjective position. This is all, and I'm explaining this with words, but this is an experience you can have, you will have, that you are here subjectively. I am. This is the subjective position. I am. The fully subjective position is simply I.
Mm-hmm.
The ego position is I am this or that.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not taking the ego position. The ego position is I am the one who is the carrier of this trauma, is the carrier of this memory, is the carrier of this past recollection. That's the ego position.
Mm-hmm.
That is not who you are. You are I am, or I-ness, before past or future manifest as memory or imagination. So by coming to the recollection, the remembrance, that I am aware, or awareness is here, more accurately, awareness is here. Because awareness is also not I, is it? Awareness is its own nature as being, consciousness. That which is aware is here now. This is not my possession. It simply is. That which is aware is here now. In this recollection, in this remembrance, it can be seen that this memory that is subjecting you to these moments of fear, of torture, really, that you are not that. that they are a process that is happening in the mind using memory. And as soon as you step into the subjective I am, the memory becomes the object and loses its power. So this is the reason why it's not important or necessary to go back into the memory. There's nothing to clear up there. It's a memory. It has no existence of its own. It is the mind which gives it power. So in order to weaken it, you can say, we don't go into it. We withdraw from it into the original state of being consciousness, into the original state of that which is aware. And in doing so, instead of giving food to the mind which wants to go into this story and wants to live in that space and wants to suffer and struggle with it for a long time, instead we give attention, if you will, to the recollection or the remembrance of who you are as being consciousness. When you're involved in a mind attack like you describe, there's no doubt that it can go on for a few hours or a day or a few days or a week. Every single person in here has had that experience. But now you have this tool. What is aware here? The simple turning away from the object of your suffering and into this question, am I aware? What is aware here? Who am I? This simple turning eventually cuts the root of that memory, of that projection. But it can take some time. So during this period of time that lasts a few hours or a few days or a few weeks, we are very kind to the mind, which is suffering, which is struggling. We're very kind, very gentle, but we are persistent. There's a reason for that. You know, the mind is like a puppy. When we have a new puppy, a puppy can be very, very persistent in its bad behavior, can't it? What we do in order to train that puppy is we carry around in our pocket a few treats. Yes. And when the puppy stops listening to us, we withhold those treats and we simply say no. And we give the puppy the instruction, please, we pet it, we tell it, sit, please stay, sit. And if it does that, we give it a treat. And if it doesn't do that, we withhold the treat. If we don't train the puppy in this way, in other words, if we use the back of our hand and a loud no, we end up with a dog which is scared, afraid, and mean. The same is true of mind. So what we do with mind is we offer that same kindness that we would offer a puppy while we're training it, that same patience, and that same persistence. And we keep asking the question, who or what am I? Now, this is not the same as the treat in our pocket for the puppy, but the mind feels that that's true. When we are not mean, and we are not upset, and we are not resistant to the thoughts, feelings, emotions which are in the body, we simply acknowledge them. Ah, you are here. Ah, yes, I see you. Who or what is aware of this? This is to offer the mind a treat so that it will calm down. It doesn't feel the push of resistance. It doesn't feel as though something is wrong. It simply says, awareness is here, and in this awareness, there is a feeling, a sense, an experience of even a small little bit of patience, of presence, of calm, of peace. Then the mind knows it's okay to relax. It's not going to, you're not going to get, there's not going to be a sense of upset or resistance. There's not going to be harm that comes from you. And when you say to your own mind, I need to get rid of you, I need to stop you, what the mind feels is neglect, lack of acceptance, resistance, anger, hatred. This is all directed toward the self. So best not to go, as you saw in your own experience, best not to go in that direction. Just come in the direction of persistence. Keep coming toward the open heart of being. Rest here. When the mind is silent, or quiescent, maybe we should say, maybe it's not silent, but when it calms down, because of there is no resistance to its own existence. When there's no resistance, there's a sense of peace and calm that comes over our being. This sense of peace and calm is always there when there is nothing else there. If you come to the moment when your mind is completely quiet, when you experience stillness, it's not because you generated stillness or you created calm or you became peaceful. It's because when there is emptiness present as the heart of being, the natural peace and natural calm of the self is revealed. It's already there. So that was a long answer, but just there to say to you, your intuition is correct. Don't go in the direction of supporting that trauma and that drama in your mind anymore. It can be there. Don't react. Underneath it is peace, calm, presence. Keep
It's really
coming back.
wonderful.
Yeah, keep coming back persistently. But remember, the act of coming back is not a rejection of anything. It's a relaxation into what is already here. Okay?
It's the fact that I thought at some point I need to fix it. It does need to go away. I need to be a whole human being without this. And now I see that that's all mind. And it can,
That is all.
and I can find the beauty. I can find the place with it still existing as a memory somewhere, but not affecting me. I get that now. That's beautiful. Thank you.
So remember Bhagavan's recommendation in these kinds of difficult situations. His recommendation is, let what comes come, Let what stays, stay. Let what goes, go. This teaching of let what comes come, let what goes go, is based on the deep understanding that when you connect directly with being consciousness through the question, the inquiry, who am I? Or even the simple recollection, am I aware? Yes. Even just that, pulling yourself out of that storyline and back into this momentary recognition that I am aware. Just doing that persistently is enough to allow what comes to come, let it go when it goes. So persist. You know, the fact of the matter for all of you is not that you lose yourself from time to time in thoughts, emotions, memories, experiences. The strength of your sadhana is that you always come back. Whether it takes a minute, it takes an hour, it takes a day, it takes a week, it takes a month. There's not one single person here who will not eventually come back. You all are beyond the time when you will fall into your old habits and stay there. Whatever degree of realization you have is always going to bring you back to the recognition that you are being, consciousness, and bliss. So when something comes up, as Risha is explaining, and it's very difficult like this for a period of time, know deep within your own being that sooner or later you will come back. This is who you are. It cannot be avoided. You're past that point. Yes, things will still come and go. Momentary distractions will happen, and so on. But you will always come back to who you are. You can never not be the self. You are always the self. The movie on the screen of awareness is what is coming and going, not the screen itself. Know yourself to be that which is aware. Whether you happen to know that at this moment or not is not relevant. You are the self, being, consciousness, and bliss. There is nothing else here. Hello. Diana, hello, hello. Turn your microphone on, please.
Namaste, Rishi. Namaste, all dear ones.
Namaste, namaste.
so grateful and so happy that we are all together again. And yes, it is this last week's the feeling is really that this the silence, not going into silence or joining silence, but being
Yes,
silence itself really deepened and it anchored, and it had this beautiful benefit. Nothing is needed anymore. Nothing is needed anymore. You know what I mean? It's nothing needed.
yes, of course. Nothing
And
is needed.
nothing.
Everything is here. That's another way of putting it, is nothing is needed, but another
Okay.
way of putting
Yeah.
it is everything is here.
Yes. 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 And it's out of joy, sharing it, and yeah, sharing it came what came, and it has no side effect, nothing. I'm 100% positive about it because I worked on it deepliest. I checked in all the time. I checked in permanently. Yes, is it true?
Yeah,
Is there leftover, or is there anything? And there's nothing. Rishi, there's nothing.
there's nothing. Yes,
Yes.
yes. Beautiful, beautiful. Yes.
Absolutely nothing. I can say it full, convinced. Nothing.
Yeah, very good, very good. So happy. Very good.
Yes. Yes.
And this is the your joyful sharing and your joyful expression of this recognition is such a benefit to others, because many people, many sadhaks, many spiritual practitioners hear these kinds of declarations, or they read them and they hear, there is nothing, I am nothing. There is no one here. They hear me say these things. And the fear is that I will dissolve completely and I will be nobody. And there's a big fear that comes up in this, big worry that comes up. So when someone makes this declaration, I am nothing, and there is this joy, then this points us directly to the experience of being, consciousness, and bliss, doesn't it? Being, consciousness, presence as it is the foundation which in its realization brings joy and becomes this blissful remembrance, this I am that, which the sages speak about. So thank you. It's very, very good for people to hear this declaration that I am nothing, and I am so happy, and I will never go back. Thank you, Diana.
It's
Thank you.
your
Thank
grace. It's your grace. That's no question. It's all the grace. Arunachala, Rishi, grace, and this is clear. And we are all in this grace. We are swimming in the grace, like it's swimming in the ocean now. We are swimming in this grace all the time, each moment, each moment.
Yeah.
Really
Yes.
recognizing also that there there is only this moment, this freedom of this, what you said, and what is so clear coming out of the book, you know, your end of the search. It's so beautiful that it arrived now on Great Island, and is really confirming.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Yes. I'm very happy about this. I mean, it's
She is
confirming.
referring to the book which has just been published. It's called The End of the Search. And right now it's not available for you that are in other countries to purchase it. We sent it through another person to Diana. But I want to tell you that the preparation is being made that it will be available online soon, and you'll be able to just download it.
Wonderful, wonderful, yes.
All the rest of you. And hopefully we'll have it set up also so that you can obtain it if you want a hard copy through the link, but otherwise it's going to be available as an ebook. And then hopefully in the next 30 days. So that's in process right now. So very good.
Thank you, Rishi.
So welcome. Thank you. Namaskar. Namaskar. Leonardo. Ram Ram.
Yeah. Hello. Thank you, Rishi. Thank you. All right. So in the past few weeks, I have been practicing with this sadhana that you gave us last satsang, which was to use sense perception as a starting point for the inquiry. So I've been asking myself quite frequently, like, who is watching this? Who's listening? Who's smelling this? And then what I've noticed is the immediate sense of presence and sense of nowness that brings. Yes.
Yeah.
And then what I've noticed also is that with, let's say, pleasant or beautiful sensations or perceptions, they are kind of intensified. I like the word vivid. They become more vivid and more alive and more pleasant and more enjoyable. So then, because I have a lot of or I try to have a lot of beautiful perceptions around, then they are intensified, and then I'm enjoying much more my experience. But then also with not so pleasant perceptions or feelings, whatever, they are kind of like losing grip. They are just, or I just think, but it's not a big deal. It's just impermanent. They're gonna disappear soon, as soon as I ask. But who is getting upset because of this perception? And then they just kind of losing heaviness more and more, increasingly. Then I guess also with this practice, what's happening is I would like to say a dissolving of wanting, increasing dissolving of desire or mental projection, or just this discovering or realization that objects or mental pursuit is not going anywhere. It's not going to bring this real sweetness that the practice really, that is already here, the practice that, yeah. So that I would like to just share this little report
Yes.
Yeah, it's just a wonderful, wonderful practice in the past few weeks with this, the use of perception as starting point for inquiry. Yeah, has been feeling very, very sweet. So,
Very
thank you.
good. Thank you, Leonardo. So for those of you who might not have been here during the last one, I'll tell you a little bit more about what I had shared during that satsang, which is what he's referring to, and he's outlined it very clearly. But it is, as many of you know that have been coming to satsang here for some time, I'm always pointing people not to repress, suppress, or deny one's experience, but rather ask the question, how can I use this? So as an extension of that question, I suggested to everyone that one could use the senses themselves, hearing, tasting, touching, smelling, seeing, thinking. One could use the senses themselves to both stand in whatever the experience in the immediate moment is and turn the attention, if you will, back toward the source. And then I suggested that this could be done by noticing that hearing is happening, as an example. And I use hearing in particular because it is probably the strongest of all the senses and the easiest in some way to do this practice with. Tasting, touching, smelling, thinking, and so on are a little bit more difficult to do this with. Hearing is very clear in some way. I don't know why. But in the traditions, it's very clear that hearing is a powerful gateway, if you will. So I suggested in every moment that you are able, notice the act of hearing. So right now, you can, all of you, notice the sound of my voice, but not as a voice, not as an object, not as something that the mind needs to get engaged with, just as the simple sound. In the hearing of my voice, you have the opportunity to ask yourself, who is hearing? To use the sound of my voice to come into the here and now. You see, you are not hearing somewhere else in some other time or place. The hearing which you are experiencing in this moment is not a memory. It is what is here now. So we've already established ourselves in the here and now. My voice is also not a projection into the future. It is what is here now. So in this hearing, we are immediately present in the here and the now. So now ask yourself, who is hearing? Notice that even as you ask yourself who is hearing and I stop talking, the who is still evident, not as a person, but as a presence. The presence which is hearing. Who is hearing? And of course, you can't find that one. But now you have been quickly and easily established in awareness. Who is hearing? Each and every one of the senses and the mind can be used in this way to withdraw attention from the objects themselves. In this case, my voice is the object. But you can hear in your own experience my voice without you there as an intermediary. Is it true? You don't need to listen. Something, however, is listening. That is awareness itself. And it's not listening, it simply is. And my voice is rising in the space of this awareness. There does not need to be a me for this sound to rise in awareness. But the sound itself points us directly back to being consciousness. This is true of all of the senses. So whatever is happening in this moment, in terms of taste, touch, smell, and so on, hearing, seeing, thinking, whatever is happening, can be used to point back to that which is aware, the prior condition of being consciousness, that which never changes and is always here. So this is the practice which I gave a few weeks ago. So those of you who just joining us, remember throughout your day, people say, I don't have time to meditate. I don't have time for this and that. This is why I give you these questions. Am I aware? Yes. This does not take any time. If you notice your own hearing, you can ask, who is hearing? And look for that one. This is not a mental exercise. Look for that one. Of course, you won't find them, but you will find that which is aware. This is true of all the senses. Use what is here now to understand that the foundation, the source of being, is this consciousness, this awareness which you are. Keep doing this gently, persistently, with love and compassion for yourself and for others, you'll progress quickly. Coming home quickly. Remembering who you are quickly. Soon you will see there is only one self. And you are that. All right, dear ones. I keep you in my heart eternally. I wish you good health, peace, and the recognition of your awakened state of being. Before even I am. Hari Om Tat Sat.